great good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful, Friday already? October 24th. Hard to believe. Year of our Lord 2025. My Cordaro Jewelers watch tells me it's 9:08 and change. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he. Broadcasting today from the United States of America. I can prove it because we have a president who raised the money to enhance the White House, and it won't come from taxpayers. It's also the place where the brave, like the veterans we salute today, thanks to John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality. We lost them this year, but celebrate their lives today. Bob Evans, North Wales. John Hollenbach, Newton Lake, Greenfield Township. Alexander Pulowski, Wyoming. Thomas Bailey, Scott Township. Raymond Welgosh, Ashley. And Warren Nelson, Millville. The United States of America, founded with a certain knowledge and understanding by our incredible, amazing, irreplaceable founding fathers, that government is not intended to be, and indeed cannot be, our parent, our guide, our direction, our salvation. Not any of these things, but is nothing more than the necessary evil we require to organize and protect society. The United States of America, the country where, for the first time in human history, freedom was declared to be an unalienable right granted to each individual by God. It was not something that could be parceled out to groups. It was not something that could be controlled by government or government officials. Our great American Constitution ensures and codifies freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association, economic freedom, and yes, freedom of the press, no matter what they do with it. Now, armed with these freedoms, and only because they had them, a ragtag bunch of immigrants, rejects, and their progeny created the richest, most powerful, most culturally diverse and accepting nation ever to grace our planet Earth. America, the only place specifically invented and designed so that every American can live their life in the manner they choose. Unlimited by their background, upbringing, race, color, or creed, unhindered by the government or those who would use government to control others for their own comfort, benefit, or power. Yeah, this Bob Cordaro Show, it will always be convincingly conservative, lovingly logical, proudly and passionately patriotic, and reliably right. And so we gavel to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising all of you that for the balance of the morning, the Bulldog and I will provide a sanctuary of sanity for you. Yep. So, I don't like to go out during the week. It exhausts me. But I did because Gene Barrett was having an event, a very nice event at the Scranton Club. Bunch of great people. And before that, I stopped by Catch 21, my friend Benny there. He got me a case of this wine that I love. And so I had to go there and get it and pay for it. And of course, had a chance to stop at Catch 21. I'm sorry, that was at Catch 21. And then Terra, which I love, Terra 519. And then met Cutie up at Jack's. Good time had by all. But then I'm exhausted the next day. It's just I can't do it anymore. I cannot do it anymore. And we weren't home late, super late, 10-ish. But I will get through it. Because you know what? It's strange. No, it's not strange. You guys energize me. Being with you, hanging around you makes a difference. It really does. By the way, somebody yesterday, it was so nice. I love getting snail mail, regular mail. And they said, I'm a steady listener and enjoy your show. Thought you would enjoy reading about one of your favorite places to dine, and sent me a nice article about the Stegmeyer mansions. It was anonymous. Which I wish it wasn't, but it was just nice. Wasn't that a nice thought? Really, I tell you, that's why I enjoy. I truly enjoy being with you guys every day. I do. Hey, our friend Lorraine from Hazelton's in the hospital, and we're a little worried about her. I've got to get in touch with her today. Somebody says, sounds like you do a lot of drinking and driving. No. Just because I'm at a place doesn't mean I'm drinking, number one, and I seldom drive. No, you got to pay attention to that stuff. Anyway, but thank you for cautioning me to be careful. Because I could walk to all those places. See, I could walk downtown. I could walk, I live in the Hill. I could walk downtown. I could walk to Jack's. So, in any event. A friend of mine invited me to come to Jack's. My friend Ned, he said, I'm with someone whose father stormed the beaches of Normandy. And he's absolutely livid that the sicko at the Scranton Times wrote a column comparing Antifa to not comparing, saying they're the equivalent of the people who stormed the beaches in Normandy in World War II. He said he's outraged. As am I. What an ass scumbag. That's what he is. And I had extended an invitation to the coward to come on the show anytime to talk about whatever he wanted to talk about or to debate it or whatever. And that offer is now withdrawn because you can't put a sick mental patient on the air for his sake or the audience's. So, Chris Kelly, you are not welcome on this program, period. You're just too mentally ill. You're too demented. Man. And I said, as for that newspaper, what a disgrace. There's no adults there to prevent someone from writing scum like that? My God. But in any event, you can't give a mental patient too much of your time. And we used to be friendly, if not friends, back in the day. But he's just gone sick. He's gone mental. So, in any event, a great night. And Gene gave a nice talk to all of us, Gene Barrett. And it was good. A lot of good people there. I was telling some people last night, I said originally I didn't think Gene Barrett could win the election and beat the mayor because Trish Bynen's a good candidate, and she's going to take some anti-Cognetti votes from him. But then I saw some of the people who are interested and into and part of the campaign, and I said, yeah, he could win. Now, it's like all these other races, like getting rid of the Supreme Court justices, the retention vote for Andy Jarbola, getting Chet Murley elected. People of like mind have to get out to vote. Now, and please remember this, that's all you need to do. I always think about it, and I think about those. That's what made me sick about that disgusting column this Wednesday. How look what they had to do, the greatest generation. And their parents at home waiting to find out if their child lived. And their wives at home and their families at home. Think of what they went through, All we have to do is go to vote to not let these sick people. I played Rashida Tlaib, one of the most disgusting, revolting human beings ever to hold office. She hates this country. She hates anyone who is not a lunatic. And wow. Her supporters chanting death to America while they're in America. This woman talking about oppression and all these other things when she's an elected member of Congress. She and the other members of the squad are the proof of the exact opposite of what they are saying. Sick, sick people. Anyway, somebody asked, well, Lorraine, our friend Lorraine's in the hospital. She called us yesterday, but apparently couldn't stay on the line, and we're hoping she's getting better and on the mend. I was hoping for a poem, but, I mean, she can't have her poetry at the hospital. So, in any event, somebody said, Bobby, I know what you have, too many birthdays. That's good. And somebody says, you sound tired. Take tomorrow off, LTS. Of course. No, I listen, if I would drag myself in here. I didn't have to drag myself in here today. But I will tell you, man, the darkness is crazy. The darkness, dealing with the darkness when I get up. I don't know how the morning show people do it. They do it every day. They're like miners. They come and they trudge into work and they get their show done. I mean, yeah, they talk about left-wing lunacy, but fine. They're still here every day, which is something good to say. And, and the Bulldog gets up early too. Right, Bulldog? Yeah, he's nodding his head. He's got to get up. What time do you get up, Bulldog? What time do you get up? Every morning. I mean, that'd be like well, what time do you get up on the weekend? Oh, well, okay. So you could actually sleep. Some people can't sleep. Okay. So Bulldog gets up at 3:30, 4 o'clock. That to me, it'd be like going back to prison. And now, funny thing, they kept firing me for all these jobs in prison because I was just defiant. And I was not that I wasn't doing the jobs, I was just defiant. And they don't like that. They want conformity. Anyway, I get fired from teaching because I told all the drug dealers in the GED class, I said, you just have to find a better product. You're not going to find a product with the kind of margins of what you were selling, but understand that you guys already know marketing and organization and distribution. Don't underestimate yourself and don't let these people tell you that you're evil. Understand that you've got value. And they fired me promptly. So then they put me in the kitchen where I had to get up at 3:30 or 4 in the morning. And I'm going, wow, this is really like prison now. But these guys do it every day. Crazy. But I guess, see, there is no difference for them because part of the year I'm getting up when it's light out at 6, 5:30. All year they're in the dark. Wow, different. All right, we got to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. Let's hear from our great sponsors. A little history, a little music, and then you. 570-883-0098 to call or to text. Max is calling from the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and he wants to talk about Rashida Tlaib, that disgrace. So we'll talk to him when we get back. Nice. Murph says Neil Sedaka recorded 8 takes to get it done. The Calendar Girl, this date, 1960. Bob Cordaro back with you on the eponymous program. Let's go right to the phone. Max has been patient. He's on the PA Turnpike. How are you, Max?
Not too good. I mean, it's been pretty bad, the rhetoric, and it keeps getting worse. And there's no wake-up call. People aren't paying attention. What they are doing is they're watching the NFL and the NBA and worshiping these lowlifes that are putting the boots to them, 6 games, showing no respect. When people are chanting.
Yeah, we're losing you. I guess, but Max's point is important, which is, hey, how does somebody like this? I mean, they're lower than pond scum. Rashida Tlaib, she's a leader in this country. These are scary people. And they're not only living amongst us, they're leading areas of this country. It's beyond frightening. Bob LTS, Rashid, and all the others that weren't born in the U.S. of A. shouldn't be allowed in office as it is for the president. RW telling me. Art, I don't agree with you on that because legal immigrants, who's the one, the Somalian, who's an actual illegal immigrant. She's an actual illegal immigrant. She married her brother in order to get in this country. Why am I blanking? I have her stupid face pictured in my mind. But these are awful people. Let's see if Max is. Max, let's see what kind of signal we got now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going through the mountain region. But the thing is, how are these politicians, these far left politicians, how are they swearing on the Constitution and uphold the Constitution when it's clear that they're not?
Exactly. But that's a really smart point. When they get sworn in, they've got to swear an oath to the Constitution, and they are violating it and trying to tear it down. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's blatant. So there's evidence. We should be going in there, arresting her and all her constituents, the people that show up, and they have data. They have to have databases on some of these people. They have to have criminal records. Arrest them, send the military in. Okay, I am all for a full military operation on American soil in every sanctuary city.
I won't go that far with you because first of all, because we don't need to. There are enough federal forces to do what we need done. But I go to the further point that you make, which is someone who is treasonous like her. Some things need to be done, and they always accuse Trump and us, his supporters, of that which they are doing.
That's a Marxist trope. That's page 2 of the Marxist handbook. I've read it. That's what their strategy is. And this No Kings protest, that's another Marxist strategy. Did you know, and this comes from a CIA agent, it takes 3.5% of the entire population of a country to pose a revolution, okay? Their goal in all of this is to turn another 2, maybe 1.5% of the people so they could start this revolution against all of us and turn America to what they want it to be. And it would have been this if Biden had another term. That would have been the end of our country.
We would have not been. This would not be a recognizable country if Biden or if either Biden stayed in office, if he hadn't been exposed for his mental debility. But if she won, Kamala, forget it. You're right.
Right. And Biden wasn't running the country. He wasn't doing anything. I mean, this is a shadow government that was in the Biden administration. The same administration running Biden was running Europe. If you're looking at Europe now, we had a teenager get arrested for posting "I hate bacon" in London as a reference against Muslims. He was arrested for that. Okay, that's what it's come to right now. They're in full blown civil war. It's a cold war. It's not a hot war yet, but it will be.
Oh,
Ireland, same thing.
Ireland, same thing. And everywhere, native countrymen who actually love their countries are fighting back. It's up in the air whether they're going to prevail, because you've got lunatics like the Labour Party in Great Britain, which is actively trying to undermine patriotism. We're in a crazy place, and it could come here. And
it's already here, Bob.
The left and the Islamists have joined. They've linked arms, and the perfect embodiment of it is Mamdani, who is probably going to be mayor of New York City. And
100% going to be New York City mayor.
He's got every left-wing lunatic supporting him, and his religion, which he professes to be faithful to, would have him kill them. It's a crazy juxtaposition, but this is who unified.
Right. The trans community, he wants to kill them. His religion says kill them. The Jewish community, they're voting for him. Boy, oh boy, when they have these free buses and these supermarkets, they're going to be pushed, rammed, and attacked in stores and on buses trying to get a seat, because if it's free, it's first come, first served, and that's
Max,
normally like a warlord.
The sad part of it is that he's not going to get most of what he's proclaiming enacted, because he's got to go through the state to do it.
That's true.
I was talking about that yesterday. When New York City went bankrupt in the 70s, much of their authorities and ability to operate was taken over by the state because they got saved financially. And, but scary stuff.
The muscle on the street, these thugs that they have now, then they also combine Marxism, radical Islam, and also the inner city communities that hate America, and they have that victimhood that's been instilled in them by the Democrat Party for 50, 60 years. They are on their side as well. They already have their foot soldiers. They have a de facto army. Okay, it's already going on. If you're not watching videos on X, innocent people, kids being attacked, coordinated attacks by these people. It's disgusting. I couldn't believe. I had almost heart palpitations. I don't know where to be, because if this doesn't wake us up as Americans, and if there is a civilian army being recruited, I will be the first in line, and I will say, tell me what to do. I will do it. I will not question it. Doesn't matter. I'm at the point where we need to do this.
Well, for now, Max, we got to go. But for now, all we have to do is vote. And convince like-minded people to get out there to vote, and we can save this. We really can.
Larry Krasner, the DA of Philadelphia, just let another clown go, and he murdered a girl, a beauty queen, and now they're all up in arms about that. And guess what? They're going to elect him again in 2 weeks. You watch.
I know
these morons.
Max, thank you, man. We got to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We will return. Our Veterans Tribute this hour and every hour, this day and every day, brought to you by our man John Basiliga and his great companies like Basiliga Hospitality. Well, the weekend is on us, and I know what I'll be doing. I'll be enjoying these properties that John has put together lovingly. The Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township, the Far Street Tavern, the Great Trips Park section of West Scranton, the Queen City Tavern, downtown Oliphant. All fabulous, beautiful, clean, great food, great service. Fine dining, you got the best in the area. A Terra 519 for a modern take, downtown Scranton, and the Stegmeyer Mansion, downtown Wilkes-Barre, South Franklin Street. Awesome. Sergey's will be hopping. It was last night, and it will be the whole weekend. The nightclub. John Hollenbach. He was 86 when we lost him October 6th. He was from Greenfield Township, Newton Lake. He was a resident of the Geno Murley Center at the time. Preceded in death by his wife, the former Nancy Tryon Hollenbach, who passed back in 2019. John Hollenbach was born in Carbondale, member of Our Lady of Rosary Parish, Carbondale, graduate of the great Benjamin Franklin High School in that city. During high school, he had fond memories of working as an usher at the Irving Movie Theater in that city. After high school, John worked at Sikorsky Aircraft in Connecticut before enlisting in the United States Navy, serving as storekeeper aboard the USS Des Moines with the 6th Fleet based in Villefranche, France. 3 years. He took part in the 1958 Beirut crisis in Lebanon in Operation Blue Bat and was cited for his great work on that ship. He then served aboard the USS Boston for 8 months until his discharge from the Navy. National Defense Medal, Good Conduct Medal, Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal. He moved to Nutley, New Jersey after service and became a member of the Navy Reserves. He used his GI benefits for technical licensing and certifications. While he was in New Jersey, he was employed as a security guard for Wells Fargo, traffic manager of Belmark Corporation in Bloomfield, and later operated a catering business in Passaic. In 1968, he married the love of his life, Nancy Tryon, at St. Rose Church, Carbondale. He and his wife, Nancy, moved back to Carbondale in 1993, building a home at Newton Lake. He worked at Lackawanna County Healthcare Center in Peckville, involved in things like the Shade Tree Commission. He helped raise money for the first infrared thermal imaging camera for the Carbondale Fire Department. He's survived by his son, Patrick, 2 grandchildren, and many other family members. John Hollenbach. Bob Evans, North Wales. He died October 4th. He was 95. Born in Kingston. The loving husband of June White Evans for more than 57 years until she passed away in 2013. He formerly resided in Lansdowne, PA as well. Kingston High School graduate, Westchester University. He worked various jobs, counselor at Camp Half Moon, line service technician at 40 Fort Airport, and served active duty in the U.S. Army and the Army Reserves. He moved to Upper Darby, PA, working with Bell Telephone as a lineman, deskman. In retirement, he worked as a bus driver for Friends Central and North Penn school districts. He had a great sense of humor, loved to make folks smile and laugh by telling stories, telling a joke, or singing a song. He was preceded in passing by his wife, June, survived by 3 children and adopted grandchildren. Robert Bob Evans. Our great veterans this hour brought to you by John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality. Storm Tracker 16 forecast from meteorologist Joe Snedeker. Today, partly sunny with a chance of showers, high 53, 44 outside the studios as I speak. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 40. Saturday, partly cloudy with a chance of a morning shower, 53 degrees. Sunday, mostly sunny, 55 degrees. We're back, and I didn't get to him yesterday. Do we have anything to play, Bulldog? No, okay. I didn't think so. But I didn't get to him yesterday, but Luciano's on the line. He's in Luzerne County. How are you, Luciano?
Thank you, Bob, for taking my call, and I thank the good Lord every day before I watch TV or read the radio or listen to the radio. I do my prayers before I watch the stupid TV or the radio. I thank the good Lord always, each day, for giving me breath. Anyway, Bob.
Amen.
You know, I have to say this. What I say may be disturbing and shocking, but I can't resist saying this.
Okay.
White women are so kind, so generous. They're probably, I guess I have a sweet weakness for white women, but they're so ignorant about illegal invasion, Bob. Not so much the male whites, but the women whites. I love them so much. They come here to work. They come here. Give them a break, Luciano. I said, yeah, really? Can you tell me what are they taking from from the past administration? What they're giving now, Bob, I'm just telling you this, brother. My family lives in Texas. I'm telling you, as a Latino, this mass illegal invasion is toxic. And what Joe Biden did in the Biden administration is, I don't know if we can recover, but I pray every night that we can recover. One last thing, please. The hidden secret that American people wake up. Bob, in New Mexico, California, Texas, and Arizona, it's called the smart borders. We are now presently, continuously, each day, building more border wall, more sophisticated equipment, electronic equipment. We're actually building. It's like 45%. I heard a supervisor of border security. It's about 45%. We are presently building more and more of the border. We are completing this border. And if Donald Trump finishes his term, God, please, Lord, allow him and the Republicans to take over the House and the Senate and allow Donald Trump to finish the border. We will have a sealed border, 99.9 in those four major states of Texas, California, New Mexico, and Arizona, Bob.
And
what do you think about that, brother?
Between self-deportation, which has been substantial, and the people they're kicking out of the country with these idiots resisting, despite these idiots resisting, we could mostly recover from the damage that Biden and the Democrats did.
And one last comment.
Let's hope so, but we need 8 more years after Trump. We do. We can't stop. We've got we've got Supreme Court judges coming up. We've got to vote against Wecht, Donahue, Doherty. We've got to vote. We've got to vote.
We got to vote, Bob, and we got to do this, please. Just one last comment. We got to be strong. Republicans need to be strong and back Donald Trump. What he is doing is absolutely brilliant, and he's kept his word. You know, I lived in the streets, and you know, you lived as a prisoner. One thing we cherish is people that keep their words and are committed to what they say, Bob. You know that.
Yep.
That's a street term that we cherish people that keep their word, and Donald Trump is keeping his word. He's being attacked by the Democrats viciously, and there's probably 5 or 10% of Republicans that despise him also. Have a pleasant weekend, Bob.
Luciano, always a pleasure, my friend. He says white women. I know a lot of white women are they're doing fine. Hey, inflation lighter than expected. Picardo's tells me it's $9.50. That is a cute song. I remember that. Murph says this date, 1964, Gail Garnett moved up to number 4 with her hit, We'll Sing in the Sunshine. Bob Cordaro back with you on the eponymous program. Mark Mayer and a bunch of you reminding me it's Ilhan Omar was the disgraceful thing that I was thinking of. Another member of the squad. I'm telling you, these people are outrageous. They're outrageous. They're awful, awful people. And we've got local politicians who are fully, and I'll name 3 of them. Candidate for Lackawanna County Commissioner, Mike Cappellini. Candidate for mayor and U.S. Congress simultaneously, Paige Cognetti. And incumbent candidate, Lackawanna County Commissioner Bill Gaughan. And they are all left-wing loons, just like they are. They're all in on every bit of it. And that's why they can't do their jobs well. Because they're completely divorced from reality, from truth, from fact. It's scary stuff. That's why you got to vote for Gene Barrett if you live in the city of Scranton. We need a mayor. We need a calming period. He said, I'll serve you 1 term, and then I'm done. And it will take it all of that 4 years to straighten out the mess that this clown has made. And Chet Murley for commissioner, they've got a lot of gone slop to clean up. He and Chris Chermak. It's crazy stuff. Luzerne County, I'm more sanguine about it in terms of our major counties in the listening area. I mean population-wise. The other counties, they're doing okay. They're not infected with this left-wing lunacy. And their local politicians, it's scary stuff. And that's what I told you. I said, I can't vote for Tom Welby as much as I like him because he'll end up supporting Paige Cognetti for Congress because he's a Democrat and he'll be a loyal Democrat. Can't have it. Just can't do it. But our country it's at a point where, and these people are thrashing and slashing and burning and doing whatever they can. Somebody pointing out there's some sort of a national strike. I have not heard of that, but I hear anything from the left and the Democrat Party, and I say, well, it's possible. They're sick. There's a sickness. There's an evil at the core of their ideology. And you've got the Islamists and the left joining forces, even though the Islamists will eventually consume the members of the left that they're working with. Mamdani cannot be, just for example, he cannot be a good Islamist as he claims to be, not Muslim. Make a very big distinction there. Although most Muslims are following along with these clowns. But he cannot be a good Islamist and be for, whatever that means, I'll put that in air quotes, the LGBTQ community, women. He's for Sharia law. And he would impose it as much as he can. Crazy stuff. And these people, we've got local adherents. Nice people, I am sure. Some of them I know. And it's just nutty. Yeah, there's a rumor I heard last night, and somebody texting it in, that Commissioner Gaughan, once he is marginalized and sidelined with either Chet Murley's election and with Barbara Sacco now in there, that he's going to take a job either with the Scranton School District or as a cyber school principal. Well, with his philosophy, keep him away from our kids, please. He could almost do more damage there. Crazy. Somebody says, Bob, any idea how and why Paige Cognetti came from the Northwest? She's an Oregonian. I don't know. It's to our detriment, but I don't know. I mean, go be a nice person, get a job, and do whatever. Don't destroy my city, the city I live in, with your lunacy. Please. Somebody says, Bob, we pray every Mass at St. Eulalia's in Roaring Brook Township for St. Michael, the Archangel, to defend us in battle. Be our defense against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of heavenly hosts, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who prowl about the world, seeking the ruin of souls. That's a good way to end the hour. And we're past time. It's 10:04, way past. Bulldog, when I get on you got to stop me. Anyway, we've got to go to the news with Brian Hughes. We'll be back because, again, my Bacardo's watch is saying it's 10:04 and change. We'll be back. Great good morning, everyone. My Cordaro Jewelers watch tells me it's 10:11 and change here in the great Northeast. This beautiful Friday, October 24, 2025. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, and it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values. And with the help of our man, John Basiliga, and we're featuring one of his great companies today, Basiliga Hospitality, to honor the brave who have met us and kept us free. People like the veterans we lost this year, but celebrate today thanks to John. Like Bob Evans, North Wales, John Hollenbach, Newton Lake, Greenfield Township, Alexander Pulowski, Wyoming, Thomas Bailey, Scott Township, Raymond Welgosh, Ashley, and Warren Nelson, Millville. So with history, our great founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that because of our commitment to common sense, that we will provide a sanctuary of sanity for all of you in a world where an entire political party, the Democrat Party, has been hijacked and is insane. And they've got insane leadership, locally and nationally. Some normals, but not many. The craziest thing is that an elected Marxist, John Fetterman, is the person making sense and calling the Democrats out for their lies. That's how far we've gone. Crazy. We got a guy running for Lackawanna County Commissioner who's at the King's rally screaming and spitting, saying that he wants to unite Lackawanna County. That's always the exact opposite with these people. I'm telling you. Always the exact opposite. Nuts. Hey, well, we talked earlier this week with Matt Birkbeck, and he's got a great novel coming out, it is coming out, and he's going to be at Barnes & Noble in Wilkes-Barre on Saturday to talk about that. Matt Birkbeck, welcome back to the Bob Cordaro Show. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, Bob. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's good. Let's make it a regular thing, especially because we're excited about your next book as well as this one. Tell us about this novel. It's your first novel, set in the former Mao Chunk. I still call it Mao Chunk, Jim Thorpe, PA. Tell us about it.
It's a book called The Wicked. It's a project I've actually worked on for almost 20 years. It's when I first thought about it when I was a reporter at the Morning Call and had my first beat there was covering Jim Thorpe and the Heighton in Palmerton and that part of Pennsylvania. And I thought it'd be a neat place to eventually do a book. I never, it was just something that stuck in my head. And my career, I've written nonfiction books, but this one I had always wanted to do. I finally, at the urging of my wife, sat down in 2019 to start writing it. And then I got busy with two other books, The Life We Chose, and an upcoming book I have called The Bookie, which comes out in January. And then I had a Netflix film I did in 2022. So I had a window earlier this year to plan to get The Wicked out. And we did. And it's a passion project of mine. It's, as I said earlier, it's something that I did want to try and do. And I'll be at Barnes & Noble tomorrow in Wilkes-Barre, signing copies of it.
That's neat. And your book regarding Billy D'Elia, you had an event which was jam-packed. I mean, it had a truly Wilkes-Barre-based subject, but this novel I find just as intriguing and fascinating. I really do. We talked a little bit about it earlier in the week. What are the the differences between essentially reporting and writing a book about something that's real, that happened, versus writing this fictional novel?
So, doing nonfiction, such as, say, The Life We Chose, the book I did with Billy, and yes, that was some event with Bill when we were there a couple of years ago. 1,000 people showing up for a book signing is amazing. That was Billy. It's different in that with nonfiction, my nonfiction, I've always written narrative nonfiction. So basically, you do your research over the course of a year or two, and then you take everything that you've learned and your facts. And for me, I try to create a story around it. So it's almost as if I'm writing fiction, but I have to create a whole story without changing those facts, of course. But I have to make it entertaining and interesting. And as I mentioned to you earlier, I like to think of myself as writing a 2-hour movie to keep the reader engaged. This one was basically just, it's a clear slate. It's an open canvas. I can do whatever I want, but I still have to not just sit here and think about chapters and how the book's going to work and who are the characters and whatnot. I do have to do a lot of research, and I did on Jim Thorpe, previously Mach Chunk, on the history of mining in the region, the Molly Maguires, of course. Their history plays a role in this new book. But Jim Thorpe, is just this really fantastic town. And folks, I'm sure a lot of folks that are listening have been there, especially during the fall, and it's packed. I understand they had like 25,000 people take that tourist train last month. So it's just, it's a great and beautiful town, but it's still in the middle of a very depressed region of Pennsylvania. You step outside of Jim Thorpe and, you go west into Lansford. It's tough to look at.
Yeah.
So, but I did have to do a lot of research, obviously, and that's incorporated in the book. So there are facts in the book, but it is set, it is a story about a murder that takes place in Jim Thorpe, fictitious murder, of course, but, Catholic priest, and reporter who's a famous reporter in Philadelphia who's kind of gone wayward and lost his way, knew the priest and goes there for the funeral, but the priest supposedly committed suicide. And he starts to doubt that. And then we begin his journey. And then we meet all these different characters as we go through Jim Thorpe. And then we ultimately get to the end, in which I've told people this. And the thing I'm really proud of is I was able to nail the ending. And I ended the book on the very last sentence, which is something that I couldn't do with some of my nonfiction work because I was covering stories that didn't have an ending. So for that was pretty satisfying.
Neat stuff. So tomorrow, what time will you be at the Wilkes-Barre Barnes & Noble?
I will be there at 1:00. I'll be signing The Wicked, and they'll also have copies of The Life We Chose, as well as The Quiet Dawn. Both books I know are near and dear to folks in your neck of the woods. It'll be 1:00 until whenever. So, folks if they can come by and come down, I hope they do.
Well, we appreciate it. Mac Birkbeck, The Wicked is the novel. Wilkes-Barre Barnes & Noble's the place. 1:00 tomorrow is the time. Thanks for being with us always, and thanks for writing this book. I mean it.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it.
Take care. He's got one coming up on gambling and betting, sports betting, which I'm looking forward to. Will be released in January. But check him out tomorrow at the Barnes & Noble. We'll take a break and be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Donovan, he released his hit Mellow Yellow, this date 1966, Murph tells us, and for good or ill, very often ill, the United Nations officially came into existence this date, 1945. Bob Cordaro back with you on the program. Inspector guy text in. By the way, Joe from Westside also checking in. Bob, American Legion Post 781 Mountaintop lost its last World War II vet this week. Ray Samolis, who had turned 99 just a few weeks ago, passed away. Oh, God bless. I don't know if I'll try to make sure I have that obituary. And if not, Inspector Guy, that means you have to snail mail it to me here. Or email it, one or the other, Robert.Cordaro, Cordaro, at Odyssey, AUDACY.com. Somebody during one of my phone calls texting, you guys are talking nonsense. Roughly half the voting population voted for not Trump. You are just fanning the flame. What are you talking about? Who's fanning the flames? Who is attacking ICE agents? Which group of elected officials are calling them jackbooted thugs? Duly created law enforcement agencies who are enforcing the law. Who's doing that? The Democrats are. The Democrat elected officials who openly hate this country. I just played her own words. They got a guy running for New York City mayor who will not globalize the intifada, meaning death to all non-Muslims outside of, make it everywhere. The hell are you talking? We're fanning the flames. When the Democrat elected officials are cheering on the flamethrowers. Somebody takes in, the problem is the liberal media knows these left-wing people are evil. Well, they may be evil themselves, but they pretend they are normal. That's the problem with the whole situation. Bob, when the media reports the news, they always put the criminal in the right and the law enforcement officers in the wrong. This is why the country is going into decline. Perfect example, ICE agents under siege. The media favoring anti-Semitism protesters over the good, honest Jewish students. If the media was more fair and honest, we would not have this problem. I agree. But the media is part of the problem. Bugzar says an illegal alien tractor-trailer driver now killed more. Another one kills him. Sadly, his own camera recorded the disaster. Bugzar saying that about 62,000 CDLs were given to the illegals. Fascinating. Somebody else, Bob, you and President Trump were right. The Democrat Party does not want unity and America to succeed. Instead, they chose to keep the government closed and let the American people suffer for their own selfish benefit. John Fetterman exposed the Democrat Party for what they are. Truly evil, says this listener. Now they despise Fetterman for doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. It's something. Somebody says, you forgot to mention that Ilhan Omar married her brother so he could stay in the USA. Actually, so she could come in, too. I did mention that she married her brother. Yeah. Somebody else, the Mayor Page Cognetti bike lanes in Scranton will destroy the entire city within 2 years. No one would want to fight the bottleneck traffic on a daily basis. The entire city will be vacated of all businesses, and all of Scranton will be left with is an empty shell of buildings like Bridgeport, Connecticut. It's an idiotic idea. But again, she's not playing to this audience, meaning we, the taxpayers of Scranton. She's playing to the left-wing fundraisers and lunatics in the National Democrat Party. And bike lanes are a big deal for them. It's crazy, crazy people. By the way, a friend of mine posted this, and it's pretty good. It's a 10 points on what a conservative is, and I like it. Well, we don't have time to go through it now, but I may go through it. By the way, Rob O'Donnell pointed out, our afternoon guy, that the mayor is touting some bullspit statistic, trots out the cops to take a picture with her, and that they did something great. Well, crime is up, Paige Cognetti, under your leadership, failed leadership. It's up dramatically, number one. Number two, the Fraternal Order of Police endorsed Gene Barrett, not you. And you're the incumbent mayor. That says everything that anyone concerned about crime needs to know. That you will lie about crime and crime statistics, and that your own cops know that you're a failure. Unbelievable. We've got to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. Let's hear from our great sponsors. We'll come back. We'll do our Veterans Tribute, the weather, and then we've got some phones we got to get to. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Our Veterans Tribute this hour and every hour, this day and every day. Brought to you by our friend John Basiliga and his great companies like Basiliga Hospitality, which we've got to think of as we go to the weekend. 3 great bar restaurants. Love them all. Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township. Far Street Tavern in the Trips Park section of West Scranton. Queen City Tavern, downtown Oliphant. They're all beautiful top shelf food, great drinks, great people. And then when you want to go for something a little more, fine dining at its best. There's a modern take. Top shelf, your jaw will drop when you walk into a Terra 519. Downtown Scranton. Outstanding. And then the Stegmeyer Mansion. Downtown Wilkes-Barre, South Franklin Street. Wow. Want a little nightlife? Hey, even an old fogey like me can enjoy it, and I do quite often. Sergei's, the nightclub. Now check out a movie. Scranton Art House. Best place to watch a movie. Reader's Choice. Alexander Pulowski. He died October 13th. He was from Wyoming. He was 85 years old. Born in Scranton, a graduate of Scranton Central High School, class of 58. He was a Navy veteran serving aboard the USS Decatur, attaining the rank of gunner's mate, 3rd class. Upon honorable discharge, he returned to Northeast PA and was employed for many years at Haddon Craftsman in Scranton. Al was a quiet, kind, and considerate man who loved his family and was proud of his service in the U.S. Navy. Surviving are his wife of 42 years, Marion Duddy Pulowski, his daughter, Sarah, his stepson, Thomas, and many other family members. Alexander Pulowski. Thomas Bailey. He passed away at age 77, October 6th, at the family home in Scott Township. He's survived by his wife of 58 years, Christine Penn Bailey, his son Brian, his daughter Stephanie, his grandchildren, and many other family members. Tom graduated in 1966 from the great Scranton Technical High School, then served in the 1003rd General Supply Company of the Army Reserves. He started his career with the Scranton Times, working there for over 44 years. After retiring, he worked as a laboratory courier for Geisinger. The family says the folks may recall our father's smile and genuine concern for others, connecting with people along his route. Always wearing his NASCAR gear, enjoyed coffee at D&D, and always had pizza on Fridays. One of his favorite things was treating family to Sunday dinners out, which meant everything to him. Thomas Bailey. Our great veterans this hour brought to you by John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality. Storm Tracker 16 forecast from meteorologist Joe Snedeker. Today, partly sunny with a chance of showers, 53 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 40. Saturday, partly cloudy with a chance of a morning shower, 53. Sunday, mostly sunny, 55 degrees. All right, we're all full up on the phone here, but I've got to go because this is neat stuff. We got to go to Kristen Powers from Basiliga Hospitality. She's got this great event tomorrow at the marketplace at Steamtown. How are you, Kristen?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Tell us about it.
So tomorrow we are having a pop-up harvest market. It's part of a series that we've been hosting once a month at the second floor of the marketplace at Steamtown, which is called Scranton Public Market. And you could kick off your day at 11 a.m. with yoga. Come on inside, hear live music from the Howard Gardner Band at noon. Head upstairs to a chili cook-off where we have 10 chilies for $10. We have, obviously, a panel of judges, but then we have the People's Choice, Best Vegetarian, and Most Creative. But while you're there, you do not have to take part in that chili cook-off. You could just shop over 30 local vendors that will be inside the second floor of the marketplace at Steamtown.
One of the other great features is the chance to take that beautiful trolley ride. I'm taking credit for some of it because we finished it when I was county commissioner. And that is right outside your back door, right where the marketplace is located, right?
Yeah, and I think sometimes we forget about that. You just walk out that back door, down that beautiful train bridge, and then there are different trolley rides throughout the day. So you walk over to the Trolley Museum, grab your tickets, and board right there.
Neat. Man, and we were saying it the other day, this is getting better and better, Kristen. I know the goal that John Basiligas has set for it is to make it like the Reading Terminal, and you're doing it sort of every other week, and it is just expanding and growing, and more people are showing up. It's good stuff.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. And then after this event, we go into holiday. So the next one will be the same day as the Santa Parade, but noon to 5, and then following that is December 13th. So we're always looking for new vendors to work with. So if any of your listeners are interested, they could always email me at scrantonpublicmarket@gmail.com or follow our Facebook page.
Neat stuff. Kristen, thank you very much. I'll be there. Let's have a blast tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds good. I can't wait to see you.
All right, Kristen. Kristen Powers, Basiliga Hospitality. It's the marketplace at Steamtown tomorrow, the place to be, noon to 5. Let's go. Oh, you know what it is. It's Friday. And I don't know, I've got to get in touch with the Weekend Warrior and get him back on track here. But the guy that's still chugging along, it's the Pie Man. He needs his intro, Bulldog. Here he is. Better late than never. It's the Pie Man. He cometh.
Robert, good morning. Good morning.
Well, I mean,
beautiful Friday morning.
He's making Fetterman's making much more sense now than he did then, but we still love that.
Right. Bob, I just want your listeners to know they're getting the best in football analysis, and you and I, we're not involved with any point shaving schemes.
Yeah, I know. I'm afraid to bet, but we got to know these things. We got to talk.
Or knowing about players tanking on purpose. Just honest analysis and just the facts.
There you go. Now listen, Pie Man, the Eagles, I really felt like they made major strides against Minnesota to renew their Super Bowl repeat drive.
Yes, I absolutely agreed. I mean, Hurts almost had a perfect game.
Yeah.
I think his passer rating was like 176, as opposed to Prince Harry, who threw that terrible interception at the end of the game.
What do we got this week? Who are they playing?
And also, it's something added on. And also, Hurts seems to do a lot better with the no huddle, upbeat offense. So this week we're playing the New York Giants, a repeat of the beatdown we took from them up in New York 2 weeks ago. That duo of Jason Dart and Cam Scatterbo ran and threw all over the fields. Dart had 195 yards, and Scatterbo ran for 98 yards.
All right, so we're a little short on time. Tell us about this game. What do you see? What do you know?
Well, let me get to, the Eagles are closer to finding a winning formula, as we just talked about. And Barkley, I think, is going to run all over the Giants because, the offensive line's doing better. And, it's something that's, I think, pretty important to do to his old team. The Giants, on the other hand, the Giants are better than a 2-5 record. But so here's my prediction, Bob. The Eagles are given 7.5 points to the Giants. The over/under's 43. So I'm predicting the Eagles 27, the Giants 21.
Okay.
And, we're entering the second half of the season. Next week, the Eagles are on a bye week. And then they have the Packers on a Sunday Night Football special. And then the following week, the Detroit Lions on a Sunday night special.
Ooh.
And, across the league, things are heating up. In the NFC, the Eagles, Packers, Buccaneers, and 49ers are on top of their divisions. In the AFC, the Patriots, Steelers, Colts, and Broncos. So things are heating up for the playoffs.
All right. Well, Pie Man, we appreciate it, my friend. The Pie Man cometh, the Pie Man speaketh, and now the Pie Man goeth.
All right.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
You have a great weekend, and fly, Eagles, fly.
You too, my man. Take care. The Pie Man. We'll take a break and be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. That's Green-Eyed Lady. Sugarloaf, this date 1970, Murph says. They moved up to number 3. We're going to finish today, Bulldog, with American Pie. How could we not? Because it was released this date in 1971. That'll be our wrap-up. We got to go right to the phones because people have been patient with us. Bob Bolus is on regarding the reassessment. Bob, how are you?
Good, Bobby. How you been?
Great.
Okay, I filed against the tax assessor because the commissioner said that they had nothing to do with it, so we sued the tax assessor. So be no time soon before there's a tax assessment, certified.
So you filed a suit to stop the reassessment? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And we also filed a suit to stop the tax increase.
Decaf, add 2 cream. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So we did that to straighten everybody out once and for all in this city.
Well, your friend, there's the rumors now that your friend Billy the Boy King Gaughan is going to leave the commissionership. My guess is if his preferred candidate, left-winger Cappellini, is not elected, and take a job with the cyber school or maybe the Scranton School District.
Well, I'll wave them goodbye because we don't have any kings in Scranton either. The best thing that could happen to Lackawanna County is to eliminate him. I have a lawsuit starting against him when he had the sheriff grab me and remove me and tore the ligaments in my shoulder. So it's not over with between him and I. His arrogance far supersedes anybody that should sit there. And then the other one, well, he was at the last Kings rally and said he wasn't a commissioner. He was acting as a private citizen. But a few weeks later, in the paper, he put when everybody was running, remember, if you're a commissioner, you're a commissioner, period. So, he's totally confused. But Cappellini was there the other day, the both of them.
Oh, yelling and spitting
the guy
and carrying
on. He was totally friggin' unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I was there with the trailer for Tampon Tim and Harris instead of bringing one of my Trump trailers because this is who the idiots all voted for that were standing there.
Mm-hmm.
And he was unhinged. Like you would not believe, like a damn lunatic screaming and yelling into the mic.
What his
we
slogan
don't need
is
this
that he
in
wants.
Lackawanna County.
His slogan was that he's unifying Lackawanna County.
Yeah, he's unifying. Yeah, he may as well go to New York and become a communist.
Crazy stuff.
Okay, that's about as unified as he's making it. Anybody votes for them, they're out of their mind because the county will take a downturn like second to none.
Well, I'm a Chet Murley guy. That's the only way to change direction.
On top of that, I made a decision to run for the mayor in Scranton again on a write-in campaign because when they had the rogue Charlie Spano take me off the ballot and a judge certified it, he did it illegally because he had to go to the DA to remove me. So the high court, we've spoken to them, and they're in the process of reviewing everything.
All right.
So I decided to put my hat back in there for the Republican Party as a write-in campaign because, as everybody knows, if anybody's going to strand out, it's me.
All right, Bob Bolus. Thank you, my friend. Always a pleasure. Ed from Berwick, thank you for your patience, my man. We got about a minute.
Okay, buongiorno, Kesa Ditch Bubble. I'll keep this brief. My vote is the kiss of death. The first time I ever voted, I was overseas in the military. At that time, LBJ was running against Goldwater. And even overseas, we had our liberals. And they said, you vote for that Goldwater, you're going to get war, race riots, high taxes, and inflation. The liberals were right. I voted for Goldwater. That's what we got. But he lost.
That's a good one.
And the last thing I got for you here is that next president, you want name recognition? You want somebody with nice goons? President Curtis Sweela.
I love him.
He's got guts. And you got goons too. And also, You can tell Bolo she's a great American. And that's all I got.
All right, my
Take
man.
the hill.
Always a pleasure, Ed. Thank you for your patience
Right.
as well. We've got to go to the news because my Picardo jeweler watch tells me it's 11:01 and change. That means, and by the way, it's not a Raymond Weil, it's not a Breitling, it's not an Oris, it's not a Longines, it's not a Michelle, it's not a Shinola, it's not a Luminox watch, it's not a Swiss Army watch, it's not a Seiko, it's not a Tory Burch, it's not a Victorinox, it's not a Bulova watch, but they have them all at Picardo Jewelers, in addition to an amazing selection of jewelry. Corner of Spruce Street and Jefferson Avenue in downtown Scranton. We'll take this break and be back after the news. Great good morning, everyone. It is 11:11 and change on my Cordaro Jewelers watch. This beautiful Friday, October 24, 2025. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he. It's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and with the help of our man John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality, to honor the brave who've made us and kept us free. People like Thomas Bailey, Scott Township, Alexander Pulowski, Wyoming, Bob Evans, North Wales, John Hollenbach, Newton Lake, Greenfield Township, Raymond Welgosh, Ashley, and Warren Nelson, Millville. So with history, our great founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle by gaveling back to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense. Yeah, crazy stuff. We are committed to common sense, and we will provide a sanctuary of sanity for all of you. It's our job. We take it seriously, but we know how to get it done. Yeah, lots of stuff going on, guys. Somebody says, take conservative vote and hand it to Paige Cognetti. Enjoy the bike lanes. I know. And the $30 million that's going to get blown. Somebody says, Bob, this is the problem with the city of Scranton. Too many candidates like Bob Bolus who mean well but have no chance of winning and dilute the centrist votes. I agree. Look at Bob, and I love Bob Bolus. I'm not for you, Bob. I'm not for you running. You can't serve anyway. I can't either. I get it. So, I don't know. Somebody said, echoing what we played to start the hour, the shutdown falls on the leftist media, Democrat supporters, not pressuring their elected idiots to sign the CR. It's just a continuation of their inability to be honest or admit they are wrong. For the past 10 plus years, it's been the impetus to destroying unity and truth. What an awful political party the Democrats have become. My God. Was it yesterday or last night? Oh, yeah, last night. I was up at Jack's and I told an arch-Democrat friend of mine, I was at the Gene Barrett thing, just passing over. He goes, well, he's a Democrat. I said, yeah. He's normal. He's normal. That's why I can support him. The party label doesn't mean anything except and see, to him, the party label meant everything. No matter what they do, no matter how awful they are. But he was pretty pleased I was supporting a Democrat and able to. And I am. And I'm happy to. It's just getting harder and harder to find normal Democrats. You see who was at the No Kings rally and you realize I can't support them. They're idiots. Or they're behaving like idiots, or they are catering to idiots. I don't have a problem with the people who got paid to be there. But the people that were there, like candidate Capolini, spitting and screaming and carrying on, frightening. They were actually frightening. Hey, Frank from Old Forge, calling about the Lackawanna County Commissioners. Hi, Frank. How are you?
Good morning, Bob. You know, Cat Wiz Kelly is going to do a piece on you now for being at Gene Barrett's event. Call you out and call out Gene Barrett as he did in the past. So, listen,
Wendy Mayapolsky Wilson is going to tell him what he's going to write next.
She's going to
That's
put
how
it
that
out on
works.
the grapevine to Cat Wiz Kelly.
The mayor's mouthpiece.
Yep. Their syndicate, the lying, racketeering, collusional, conspiratorial media narrative. Exactly. Listen, the Lackawanna County Commissioners debate last night was really great. I think, first off, I think Cappellini reminds me of AOC, Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris in the best way for that side of the aisle. I mean, pretty much he said that we were going to get fined millions of dollars if we paused the reassessment, which is another lie. But no, he didn't have any solutions, whereas Chet Murley, amazing, he's done this before with his budgets and things. There's 1,100 county employees, and he said, like, look, here's how we do this. We make sure that all departments are staffed, but yet they're not overstaffed. We understand budgets. He's not looking for a revenue increase, which is code word for tax increase. He's looking at making government work for the people. But Cappellini said about Senate Bill 939, which has to do with the data centers. And Chet Murley said, look, Senate Bill 939 does nothing. All it does is restate that all zoning is local and your local zoning authority is the final word. Whereas Cappellini is trying to portray it as, hey, this is what will stop data centers. And Bob, it won't. So those are two things that don't fly. So
I know Mike Cappellini. I like him. I love his family, but he is completely divorced from fact, truth, and reality as soon as he gets into politics. He knows his cigars, but he doesn't know anything else, and certainly nothing about politics and government.
And that's the thing, Bob. For me, it's not a personality contest. Look, Tom Welby, great guy. You know what? He reminds me of Sid Michaels Kavulich. But out of all three of them, Chet Murley has what we need to do, and that's follow a plan, see it through, and roll back these taxes. We don't need a 33% tax increase.
By the way, Murley, Frank, on that point, he's the only one. We know that Lackawanna County government is a disaster. He's the only one that can actually bring us change. Period.
Yes,
he's the only one because he and Chris Shermack will take over then.
It's like this, Bob, rocket science. You hire somebody that's supposed to know rocket science, and they don't, you'll know day one. Chet Murley knows what needs to be done. He's done it before. So day one, he gets in there. He's just like Senator Kennedy was saying before. When he got in there the first day, and these guys said, "Oh, you can't fire a service employee," and he did. Look, Chet will set the tone because he knows what's going on. So I think it'll be a big plus. One thing I want to say with this White House ballroom construction, everybody's freaking out. Bob, it's similar to what you did to the Lackawanna County Courthouse grounds, and look at it now. It still stands as a testament to you and its beauty, functionality, and it's a gem in Northeast Pennsylvania. So hats off to Donald Trump, Bob Cordaro, and hopefully Chet Murley.
All right, man. Thank you. Our guy Frank from Wolf Forge. So take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. Let's hear from our great sponsors. Let's do a little history, a little music, and then let's talk to you at 570-883-0098. a more lighthearted look at the transgender issue. Lola Murph says they came out with this song. It was number 9 on the charts. This date, 1970. Bob Cordaro back on WILK. Yeah, a federal audit confirming that California gave 62, this is what one of our listeners alluded to earlier, just the state of California gave 62,000 commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens. Just California. Now, guess what? They then get to automatic register to vote. Amazing. Somebody say, hi, Bob. A lot of Dunmore does not know that Chet Murley's wife is Kathy Ferguson from Larch Street across from Sibio's. I didn't know that. Nice. Yeah, Chet's a good man. He's a good man. He's the guy we need. It's undeniable we need change, and we need to marginalize the boy king, Billy Gaughan. And Pat McKenna, uses Gaughan as a sock puppet. We have to. Somebody else texted in, we all know Bob Bullis is a great American and a generous man. Why dilute the vote in such a tight mayor's race? Bob Bullis, one of the listeners, saying, please reconsider. You have nothing to prove. And the listener continues, like Bob Cordaro, you already walked through the fires of Democrat hell, and Trump is your true victory. Every vote counts in a tight race. John Fetterman, I did not know this. He won the mayor of Braddock race by 1 vote, his own. True story. Google it. Yeah, I mean, in Scranton, we've got to, in my view, we've got to look at the one person that could win, Gene Barrett, that can defeat this left-wing loon mayor and this incompetent mayor, this mayor who is running for her next office while she's running for re-election to mayor. It's unprecedented. It's astonishing. She's actually telling you, I don't want to be mayor of Scranton. She's opening pools in October, late October. Unbelievable. She was worried about how much water a pool uses, but she filled a pool for a press conference. And now they got to empty it to winterize the pool a day later. It's crazy. And right, next time Bob calls in, I didn't know he was going to say he's running for mayor again. Don't do it, Bob. We've got one chance to win this election. And we have to win it. Gene Barrett's the guy to get it done. Let's do it. All right, let's go quickly to Andrew from Jersey. Hi, Andrew.
Hey, what's up, Bob? Yeah, with the gambling scandal with the NBA, I just wanted your thoughts. I didn't like the prosecutor guy. He used the term Italian, the Italian crime families, but the players were black. He didn't say the black NBA players, nor should he have said that, but that was offensive that he was highlighting the ethnicity, and I'm half Italian, so that was personally offensive. And also, I thought the crime families were a thing of the past, so that kind of surprised me. And my uncle, when I was a kid, was into that, and he was busted.
I could tell you from being in prison, they're not a thing of the past. They're not what they were, but they're still around.
Right. That's also due, I think, because when the FBI, after 9/11, I heard Michael Francesi, who was the preppy Don known as, that a lot of the resources went towards terrorists, counter-terrorists, so it moved off the crime families. But just a quick note on that, like even when I was a kid, I saw my uncle as a loser because he was the only one that was involved until my brother-in-law, his family, but he got out of it, and he's been out of any criminal stuff for like 40 years. But anyway, my dad, who's Slovak, and my mom's Italian, everybody worked, usually like construction, blue collar, and he didn't work, and he was wealthier, and he was like, buffoonish. I thought so. I always, even as a kid, saw him as like a leech. And my mom loves Rudy Giuliani, who prosecuted the gangsters. But my cousin, who's his daughter, she hates Giuliani because he used the RICO Act. Not New Jersey, but he showed how to use. So it just goes to show you, if you're a criminal, you're against the police, against the FBI. But if you're not a criminal, then you support the police, just like I experienced in the inner cities with the news. The people wanted more police, and they, except for the criminal. But what are your thoughts? Do you think it's offensive that he said Italian and highlighted that? You think that was
Cuomo?
wrong? No, it was whoever the assistant prosecutor.
I have a very high level of tolerance for things that should be offensive.
That's good.
I just very little
From the
bothers
Polish
me. You
side.
can call me whatever you want. Call others whatever you want, and they'll let them deal with it. That's my
from
view.
your Polish side.
That's my view. Yeah, from the Polish side as well, Polish Slovak side. Yeah. Thank you, Andrew. Always a pleasure. Let's take a break because we want to hear from our great sponsors, and we want to get to our final Veterans Tribute of the morning. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. If you go to the Bloomsburg American Legion, you'll see a stone out front, and it says, "What is a veteran?" And I'll supplement what it says. A veteran, whether active duty, discharged, retired, or reserve, peacetime or wartime, is someone who at one point in his or her life wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America and its people for an amount of up to and including his or her life. That is honor. Our veterans this hour and every hour, this day and every day, brought to you by John Basiliga. We're featuring one of his great companies, Basiliga Hospitality, because it's the weekend. And they are the greatest places to be. Not only the marketplace at Steamtown tomorrow during the day. Follow up with tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday afternoon, the Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township, the Queen City Tavern in downtown Oliphant, and the Far Street Tavern in the Great Trips Park section of West Scranton. Fine dining, yeah, we got that too. The best anywhere. A Terra 519 for a modern take. The Stegmeyer Mansion for an historic take on fine dining. Sergey's Live, it'll be hopping. It was last night, it'll be tonight and tomorrow. The nightclub right underneath a Terra 519. The perfect 1-2 punch for your weekend. Raymond Welgosh, he was 83. He was from Ashley. We lost him October 13th. He was born in Wilkes-Barre, a member of the graduating class of Wilkes-Barre Township High School, 1960. He was employed by UPS as a tractor-trailer driver for 33 years until his retirement. He was also proud to serve all of us in the National Guard. He was a devoted husband, loving father, and number one poppy to his 6 grandchildren. He survived by his beloved wife of 61 years, the former Barbara Soblowski Welgosh, his son, daughters, and those 6 grandchildren, and many other family members. Raymond Welgosh. Warren Nelson had a long career in law enforcement, born in Brooklyn, New York, back in 1944. He died October 8th in Berwick. He resided in Millville for 33 years. He was a veteran serving in South Korea, 64 to 66, as an MP with the 728th MP Battalion. After his tour, he returned to Copiague, New York, to propose to his high school sweetheart, Rosella Sweeney. They married in 1967. He got an associate's degree from SUNY Farmingdale and became a member of the Nassau County Police Department. His family adored him and his stories. They moved to St. James, New York in 77. But then Rosella and he settled into a farmette in Millville because living in the country was his dream. They had horses and a goat. Warren returned to his career as a cop after his son reminded him that painting his garden tools was not a full-time job. He worked in Catawissa, then Benton, where he became police chief, retiring finally in 2006. He enjoyed a perfect Guinness, old westerns, gardening, soccer, and trying new places for dinner with his daughter, Colleen. Warren was preceded in death by his wife, Rosella, his grandson, tragically, Matthew Liam, his best friend, Jim Cosgrove. But he survived by his children, his siblings. Warren was always down for a joke, a prank, or a story. He was known for his fairness. And Warren was the best father, says his family. Warren Nelson. Our great veterans this hour brought to you by our man, John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality. Storm Tracker 16 forecast, meteorologist Joe Snedeker. He says today, partly sunny with a chance of showers, high 53. It's 51 outside the studios as I speak. Tonight, partly cloudy down to 40. Saturday, partly cloudy with a chance of morning showers, 53. Sunday, mostly sunny, 55 degrees. I'm trying to organize my paperwork here because we've got the policeman's prayer. We've got, what else do we have? We have the policeman's prayer. We've got our Tomorrow Never Comes. That poem we read. This is how we like to finish the week and enjoy finishing the week. And we, but we follow I follow my Picardo Jewelers watch, and that tells me what I've got to do next because I've been doing it for a while now. Somebody said, did you see the ad and the spot of Fetterman with McCormick saying to reopen the government? I did. Good stuff. I'm telling you, Fetterman, and he's voted with the fools, Chuck Schumer's fools, 90% plus of the time. I just don't want anybody to forget that. If he has lucid moments as a recovering Marxist, I don't want to give him too much credit. But and I'll say further, I like him. I always did. He's just he's a big clownish character. Never was a personal dislike for Fetterman. My dislike was for what he did as mayor of Braddock, as lieutenant governor. It was awful. So in any event, let's go to the blower. We got TJ from Wilkes-Barre. TJ, how are you, my friend?
Oh, doing, I'm always busy doing something. Just
you make me exhausted.
It was nice to see you at an event, too.
Yeah, I know. I don't go to many because I get flashbacks,
I know.
I told you. I was telling you that, yeah.
I know. But, you emceed it. It was beautiful. It was a great event up in Lackawanna County.
Honoring our buddy Bobby Pettinato, and it was good to see you there. It truly was. Yeah, and I said, my gosh, our guy TJ's everywhere.
I try to be there. And then I just try to let the people know who's doing what and call balls and strikes, But anyway, we delivered for all the vigils, the Scranton vigil that we had, NEPA Republicans, and the Luzerne County one, the vigil that the Republican Party with Emerson Byers had it, and also the Wyoming with Betsy Green and Liz DeWalt had it. We made these beautiful cards. They're like from the printer. They're probably about hip high, and we delivered them to the head of Turning Point Action, Noah Formica. I drove out to Center County. He's from Pittsburgh. We met halfway. So anyway, this week he went to Turning Point USA in Arizona, and he dropped off the cards. So promises made, promises kept. He dropped off the cards for Erica, and hopefully she gets those cards. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, probably about 800 people, signed these sympathy cards telling them how much we loved what Charlie stood for.
Yeah.
And just so you know, I had 2 offices here in the Tough Tex Corporation. I gave one of the offices to Turning Point. There's a Turning Point Action that just got started.
Nice.
They're already doing a chapter.
Picture.
So
I saw a picture of a meeting, posted somewhere.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, my God. These kids are amazing. We got them from the U, Scranton University, Wilkes. Wilkes has a chapter now. So does the Scranton U. So we're doing things. But I do have a big event coming up on November 22nd at the Woodlands at 5 to 8. Now, I usually have free events. I've never had a paid event. I'm working with Teddy Daniels and Kyle Rittenhouse is coming to town.
Yes, you were mentioning that. That is the kid that really didn't want to be the center of attention, but the left-wing lunatics made him that,
Yes.
The whipping boy became the poster child. I love it.
Oh, I love his boyish face. It's like, he just wanted to have safe communities. And you know what? When people stand up for what's good and what's right, they always get targeted. And this young man is just amazing. So, yeah, he's coming there. We've got Noah Formica, Turning Point Action, the head of Pennsylvania. He's going to be there speaking. We've got we also have Dwayne McDavitt from Bikers for Trump's going to be there. We got Mike Crispy, host of Last Call on Real America's Voice. We got Melissa Isaac. She's an attorney. Got a couple of acquittals for the January 6 people. So it's really going to be a MAGA conservative. We're going to invite the party every.
And of course, you got Teddy Daniels, who I love.
Oh, Teddy's going to be there. We got to, and first time I'm going to be a speaker for once. I actually was at a church 2 weeks ago up at a Baptist church telling people that Christians, we need to start voting like Christians. So I was able to speak, and I told people, listen, they asked me if I was a Republican or Democrat. I said I am a child of God.
Yep.
I'm a conservative. I'm a child of God. I am a heterosexual male. I'm a father, an ex-husband. I believe in the First Amendment, Second Amendment, parental rights, border security, election integrity, and therefore I'm registered as a Republican because our party principles believes in those way more than the other party. And so anyway, so if I could call in a couple of times with this,
yes,
and
please
you go
do.
to NEEP. It's $100. It's a paid event. It's $100 per seat. But you could go to my website, NEPA Republicans. That's NEPA Republicans.com. On the front page, you click on it. You can take as many seats as you want, and if anybody wants to be a sponsor, any politicians or any leaders in the community, $2,500 a table. We would love to get some people involved.
Nice. Yeah, keep checking in. We'll repeat that because it's November 22nd, right?
Yes, sir. November 22nd. We already booked the Woodlands, 5 to 8 p.m. Plenty of parking. We're going to have a lot of security there because security concerns and all that. We're going to have a raffle for an AR. We are going to have other raffles, baskets. We're going to probably have elected officials there. This is the first time we're talking about it is right this second.
Nice.
So this is the first time I'm letting everybody. I wanted to get everything ready, but for the election on November 4th, I've done everything. There's nothing more I could do for November 4th. Already voted. And so, but this is, I do everything. What's the next thing? The next thing. The next thing. This is the next thing for NEPA Republicans and TJ Fitzgerald.
All right, brother. Thank you so much. Always.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Keep plugging, man. Keep plugging.
I appreciate your words of encouragement. What you told me at that party, it meant a lot.
All right, man. Thank you. I'm telling you, it's a big deal what he does and what people with him do. I'm telling you, you need it. You need that desperately. And all we have to do with all the work that people like he does, we just got to go vote. Not too hard. Not too much work. Just go vote. Common sense voting. All right, we'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We'll be back. one of, if not, in my view, Dylan's best song, Hurricane. He recorded it this date, 1975, Murph says, at Columbia Recording Studios, New York City. We're going to finish with American Pie, of course. Why couldn't we? Why wouldn't we, right? Hey, we've got a quick minute. Our friend Chet Murley, our Lackawanna County Commissioner candidate, is on the line. Chet, fire away. We got a couple of minutes.
Thanks for taking my call, Bob. I got a lot of positive feedback last night from the debate, but when I listened to the sound bites on TV this morning, I'm not sure I was at that debate. Especially one of them that said I have some experience in planning. And I do. I currently chair the Blakely Borough Planning Commission. I've been on it for over 15 years. I was a member and a past chair of Archibald when I lived there, close to 15 years. I sit on the Lackawanna County Regional Planning Commission Board, and I'm on the NEPA chapter of the American Planning Association. So I have more than just a little experience in planning. And I was involved with two revisions to both zoning ordinances in Archibald, which has since has been revised again, and currently in Blakely. And it was the revision that gave Blakely Borough Council a very good position to make a determination of what they wanted to do when the data center came in and wanted to change 200 acres. We had things in our ordinance that is not in the others where data centers are proposed in Blakely and Jessup, Covington and Clifton, and that was unspecified use, and that was a big thing. So I just wanted to get that out there. My experience on planning commissions go way back, and you don't get paid for these positions. This is something you do for your community.
Well, Chet, you've been helping a lot of people for a long time and doing a great job on whatever task you set yourself to. I'm again, I wanted you to run for commissioner in the past, and I'm excited that you're running. I've been telling the listeners this morning, it is just a simple fact. Lackawanna County is a mess. Lackawanna County government. And we need, and it has been a mess for a long time. So correct. I'm saying, hey, the only guy that can actually change things is Chet Murley. That's it. There's nobody else. He's the only guy that will actually change things. I like Tom Welby. I even like Mike Cappellini, although he's a left-wing lunatic. But, you're the only guy that can change things, and we need you. So keep plugging out there. Thank you, Bob. And thanks for taking my call. I appreciate that. Chet Murley, stay safe. Stay strong on the campaign trail. Talk to you very soon. All right, man. Bye. We'll always take his calls. Policeman's prayer. Let's think about our cops. They'll be out there this weekend, the Thin Blue Line. My man, Nicky DeSanto, sent us this prayer a long time ago, and I love it. Lord, bless the ones who wear the badge, the ones who walk the beat, protect and keep them safe while they are on the street. As they wait and as they watch, doing good for all, guide their minds and give them strength for each and every call. Ready to put their lives on the line, give them courage each day. Let them know you're always there in each and every way. So bless the ones who wear the badge, protect them from harm, always keep them safe and in your loving arms. And then no week would be complete without this Tomorrow Never Comes by Norma Cornett Merrick. I originally discovered it in the obit of the beloved Doreen Gorieb. If I knew it would be the last time I'd see you walk out the door, I'd give you a hug and kiss and call you back for just one more. If I knew it would be the last time, I would spare that extra minute or two to stop and say I love you instead of assuming you know I do. So just in case tomorrow never comes and today is all I get, I'd like to say how much I love you, and I hope we will never forget that tomorrow is not promised to anyone, young or old alike, and today may be the last chance you get to hold your loved one tight. So if you're waiting for tomorrow, why not do it today? For if tomorrow never comes, you'll surely regret the day that you didn't take the extra time for a smile, a hug, or a kiss, and you were too busy to grant someone what turned out to be their final wish. So hold your loved ones close today and whisper in their ear that you love them very much and you'll always hold them dear. Take time to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, or it's okay. And if tomorrow never comes, you'll have no regrets about today. Sue Henry Show next. Rob O'Donnell after that. But for now, we've got to conclude this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, gavel it to a close, and let you know, God willing, I'll be with you Monday. For now, we must say adios. Have a great afternoon. Have a safe, fun, peaceful weekend.